Welcome to my mess. It's Monday. I had the day off today because I have two girls home sick. One with what the doctor is calling cyclic vomiting syndrome. Basically, she gets an irritated stomach and can't keep any food down for sometimes a week at a time. So I had to stay home with her today, and then also the youngest one has contracted scarlet fever. So between the two of them, there was just no chance. I had to stay home, and I didn't even try to work today. I know better. When we had doctor's appointments and trips out, and it was just not gonna work. So today was pretty much a wash. It's earlier than I'm normally recording. I don't know if you can see that there's actually light coming in. It's actually light outside right now. And it's warmed up a bit over what it was a couple of days ago. I'm really hoping that I can get out in the yard. I need to do some yard work. It's at a point in my year when I need to go out and dig ditches or do something relatively physical. And one of the things that I'm looking at doing, I'm still having a little bit of trouble with my arms. And I mentioned before that I was looking at getting a hatchet so that I could, chop up some small wood for the fire pit in the back and that sort of thing. Some sticks and what have you. Well, I was going to order one online, and I found a place to order them on. Order the one I was looking at anyway. And I hemmed and hawed, and I ended up going to the Home Depot. And when I went to that store, they had 5 or 6 different hatchets available. 2 models were American made, and not outrageously more expensive than what I was going to order. And there are admittedly some really, really bad hatchets. I myself have not used a hatchet much in, 30 years, maybe. I was in Boy Scouts the last time I used a hatchet. So at least I was under 18. So I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one, probably the cheapest that I can, the cheaper of the 2 American-made ones that I saw there, and I'm just going to sharpen that sucker up, and I'm going to give it a try and see how it does. Because I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about survival situations, or I'm not worried about any of that nonsense. I'm just wanting to hack some twigs with this thing, and maybe make some wood chips. I am curious to see how one does. I'm also curious see if I can wield it left-handed, because I'd like to get an equal amount of work in with both hands, because I think that would be therapeutic. I know it's a bad exercise, but from a therapy standpoint, I think that it would be good for me to be swinging the arms in a way that challenges them a bit. So that's my plan now. And I've got just loads of hacking to do if we're going to clean the yard up and what have you. I've got lots of fun. I like an overgrown look to my yard. So I let all the little trees sprout up and the only thing I started taking out were the I forget what they're called now. Japanese lilacs? No. Japanese honeysuckle. And I took those out because they're supposedly poisonous, and I didn't want chickens getting into them. But also, they're an invasive species here, and I was letting them be invasive. So I decided to be a better steward of the yard that I have, and hack as many of those out as I could. I still have a few, but I find them and cut them down. So that's a thing that I'm hoping to do, and the weather just needs to be a little bit warmer than it was today and not raining. And then I'll be able to get out and do that. So that's the story of my day, really. I decided not to order something online so that I could buy it in. Granted, I'm not buying it from a local company. It's at least a local store. There are no local companies left here. It's all chains. There is no homegrown hardware store here. There just isn't. So, take that as you will. I am kind of surprised that Home Depot, or I don't know if I'm supposed to not say store names or not, but anyway, that they have such a large selection and Menards does not. We don't have a Lowe's, so I can't compare that. I have looked at some of the hardware stores, and they really don't have a whole lot of they don't have a whole lot of hatchets, specifically. So I'm not sure what the deal is there, and I'm probably using it for something it's not intended to do. These aren't camping things, although one of them was the Gerber, which tends towards the camping. I am not interested in one of those, but yeah, there's gimmicky. There's a knife in the handle, sort of thing. No, I just want a hatchet that is a piece of metal with a stick, or or one solid casting, so that I could either replace the handle or won't ever have to worry about it breaking. So anyway, all right, that's enough about hatchets, and that's enough for me today. I hope that everything is finding everyone well, and everyone is finding everything well.